I worked for Pretrial Services. I started in July of 2005, and I left in February of 2007. I was a pretrial investigator.
No, I never heard of it. Services, no.
Is that like going to court?
I left because there became political pressure to alleviate the overcrowding of the jail, and their solution was to go to pretrial and ask pretrial to start releasing more people that we would not have normally released. Rape, robbery, charges such as that. I was asked by my supervisor to reevaluate those cases and reconsider releasing those people, whereas before it would have just been no. There was no focus to release indigent people from jail while I was there. We went by a standard questionnaire that we asked them, and at no time was that person's income taken into any consideration. Those people would stay in jail. The ideal defendant for pretrial services to release would be someone who we felt would show up for court. They had a stable job, they possibly owned a home, but they had community ties. We were required to speak with at least one or two references who would be willing to vouch for them. I do not believe that it helped with the overcrowding of the jail. The pretrial services focused on indigent people, that would alleviate the jail overcrowding, because pretrial would be allowed to release those people that could not otherwise afford to bond out themselves. For people who think that pretrial services comes with a secure bond, I would say that they're not familiar with the program. With my experience there, that is not true. All the cases where an individual has been released into the program has always been with an unsecured bond. And I know this because I worked at pretrial services for 2 years and I experienced it every day. Pretrial services is using taxpayers' money to release defendants that could otherwise afford to bond themselves out of jail.
Oh, my tax dollar?
What you're saying is that instead of going to a bail bondsman and having to put up your own assets, the government is now fulfilling that guarantee. They're the guarantor on a bail bond.
I believe that pretrial services competed with bondsmen because we were looking to release the same type of defendants as bondsmen. After reviewing the documents where it clearly states that one of their objectives is the abolishment of private bondsmen, looking back, I can see how they are trying to reach that objective.
Suppose the person flees.
When a defendant released under pretrial services did not appear at court, nothing happened to the pretrial investigator responsible. No questions were ever gone back to the pretrial investigator about why they were released. I believe that there are a couple ways that private bail industries are more effective than pretrial. Mainly if a defendant under pretrial does not appear at court, one of two things happens. Either failure to appear warrant just goes on record, and depending on the charge, nothing's really done and it just kind of sits there. For more serious charges, police officers such as my husband, who's a Newport News sergeant, has to put his life on the line to go out to find these people, versus bondsmen, when they bond somebody out of jail, they have the responsibility to go find that person. I am not a bondsman, and I am doing this though because I'm a taxpayer, and I know that my taxes are going to release these defendants that have the ability to bond themselves out.
And frankly, the taxpayer can't afford any more burdens. Our governments, from the local all the way up to the federal level, are just wasting our future, wasting it.
They need to vote for House Bill 728 because it will save the taxpayers a lot of money and keep dangerous criminals off the street.